All right. Better late than never, am I right? Um, so we're currently around quarter to one, um, East Coast time. Um, it is Saturday, December 9th, and we have Song Yadong and Chris Gutierrez fighting in the main event tonight. Um, so yeah, we're gonna quickly go over the card, any news surrounding it, the single weight miss on the card that for a bout that was turned to a catch weight. We'll get into that as well. But yeah, let's get into it. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff because it helps me. And I need all the damn help I can get. So, ba 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 ba. Have this up because I just wanted to highlight this here. I guess we'll start with this. So Stephanie Egger makes weight at 135, but Luana Santos misses at 139. Um, the fight, from what I see here, has been changed to a 139 catch weight. Does that mean that Luana doesn't get fined X amount of her purse, and Stephanie just came in 4 pounds under the weight limit for no good reason? Perhaps, but we'll have to see about that. Um, to start off the night, we have Talita Alencar, and I think they pronounce her name Han or Hyen Amanda. Um, I'm strongly siding with Hyen here because the um or Hyen, it's Talita is largely unproven. She's not young. Um, she's got 3 submissions and a draw in her 4 fights, or 3 submissions, a decision, and a draw in her 5 fights. Sorry. Um, but when we look a little bit closer, like she's fighting cans, right? Like 0-3, 1-2, 1-5, 2-3, like all losing records, except for the girl that she went to a draw with, who's got a pretty good record actually. Well, 5-1, still largely unproven, but a lot better, and it ended in a draw. So I think Miss Amanda Dos Santos here is going to take that one. But we move on. Let's see. Carlos Hernandez and Tatsuro Taira. Um, Taira obviously undefeated, coming in as a huge favorite. Hernandez has 2 losses on his record, and one of them was to uh, Gus Ballart. Um, if you guys don't know, um, Ballart, he fought in, I think, Titan FC. The man is 4'11". Um, actually, like, did fairly well considering his size disadvantage in there most of the time, but just a funny, funny dynamic in the cage usually. Um, but anyways, I digress. Um, I mean, Hernandez has some good wins, but I think Tyre is going to be way too much for him. Um, yeah, yeah. That's all I have to say there. We move on. Luana Santos missed weight. Stephanie Egger lies about tapping. Didn't she like? I think she tapped in a fight, right? And then said she didn't tap or something like that. I forget. There was a weird situation that one time, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up every time she fights. Um, but yeah, I don't know too much about Luana Santos. She's 6-1. Um, oh yeah, she beat up Juliana Miller in her last fight. Juliana Miller, I mean, kind of got exposed. She was a she came out of the Ultimate Fighter and then just I don't know. I don't know what happened, but she can't hang. It seems. Next, Steve Garcia and Melquizael Costa. Um, Steve Garcia is a pretty big underdog in this fight, and I mean, I like him. I like him in this fight. This Melquizael guy, he's new to the UFC. He's got a lot of hype around him. Um, but he lost to Moises by submission. Um, yeah, he's got a few blemishes on his record. Um, and yeah, Steve Garcia is kind of on a run right now, which I thought he was coming off losses, but yeah, he just beat Chase Hooper and Shailan Nerdimbeka. Forget how they Nerdimbeka. Forget how they pronounce that. But yeah, I'm leaning towards Steve Garcia in this one. Um, so yeah, let's go back. Hyann Amanda, Tyra, leaning Santos over Stephanie Egger, to be honest. Stephanie's shown some good stuff in there, but um, I don't know. Sort of picking with my heart in this one. I don't. Again, I haven't really studied their games all that much. Um, but yeah, I digress. Steve Garcia in this one, I'm picking, but Melky's got a chance. He's good at managing distance. He's creative with his striking. Um, a little wild at times, leaves himself exposed. Uh, but yeah, their face off was pretty intense. I think I think Steve is gonna get it done. He looked really good. He didn't look um, too drained on the scales. Looked like he was enjoying it and looking forward to it. Um, Next, Hyun Sung Park and Shannon Ross. Um, yeah, again, huge favorite in Hyun Sung Park. He's undefeated, 8-0. He's got sort of a mix of KOs, submissions. I think he only has one decision. Yeah, but he usually puts it on in the first round. He's got a lot of first round KOs and subs, few early in the second, um, and one in the third. Only one fight has gone to the third round, so I'm thinking Hyung Sung Park gets a first round KO. Shannon Ross is known to not have the best chin. I say that, but he's dropped 4 losses to by KO, and like that's not great, you know, especially with 20 fights, almost a quarter of them ended in you getting knocked out. Um, yeah, I'm going first round or early second round knockout for Park. Next, Song Kanan and Kevin Jousset. Um, I'm leaning towards Jousset in this one. Um, Song Kanan is really good fighter. Um, he's got serious knockout power, but I don't know. I don't think he's got enough for Jousset in this one. Plus, Jousset's out of City Kickboxing, and if I'm not mistaken, Song fought Izzy. Might have been outside of the UFC. Yeah, WFC. He got head kicked by him, albeit they you couldn't really have two different styles between Jusey and Adesanya. Um, one of Jusey's only losses were to Jack Della Maddalena, and I feel like since then Jusey's got a lot better. He's still kind of like fights with it, like he's got like he's really tall and has long reach, but he kind of like fights like with his hands down and his head forward, like sort of like a baiting stance, um, to try to like you know get them to throw a punch. But like oftentimes he's there to be hit, so it's not great, you know. Um, I feel like he's good at getting his guard up, but he gets hit, and I feel like in ideal circumstances or in an ideal situation for Song Kanan, he could maybe rock him and finish him if the ref is a little bit on edge. But overall, I feel like Jusey's feints and um, he's got a really strong, good jab, good leg kicks, um, checks leg kicks well. I don't know. That's that. Those factors make me lean towards Jusey, so I'm gonna go with him on that one. And then Andre Muniz and Jin Young Park, the Iron Turtle. Um, I'm leaning towards Muniz in this one. Um, Obviously, the Iron Turtle is he's got the nickname for a reason. He's insanely durable. Um, he's only got 5 losses: one by knockout, two by submission, two by decision. Um, yeah, his two most recent losses were to Grigory Gregory Obama Rodriguez. Gregory Old Obama, but he's 30 years younger. Rodriguez. Um, and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Hmm. It's a tough call. Muniz has kind of been shit in the bed lately, so I'm hoping that I mean shit in the bed against Brendan Allen and Paul Craig. So it is what it is in that regard. But I think that well, first of all, Muniz is probably in fear of losing his fucking job with the UFC. So he's probably gonna have a certain fire under him, and he's an excellent submission threat. Um, I think he can either catch Park in a submission or um, out scramble him on the ground and maybe get a TKO with ground and pound elbows. Um, but I'm probably I'm thinking it's going to be a submission. Um, or it could go to decision. And if he ends up getting tired, and if he if Muniz um, essentially blows his gas tank in the first round, there's a good chance that Park is going to survive it and maybe even go on to win 2 and 3. So there are a lot of factors here, but on the on the bet slip, I picked Muniz, so we're gonna go with that. Nasrat Hakparast and Jamie Malarkey. Another kind of like, huh? I don't know, sort of fight. Um, Hakparast is very good. Jamie Malarkey is also very good. Um, Hakparast has a crazy amount of knockouts. Holy shit. Um, hmm. It's hard to say here. Did they both have a recent win over Makdessi? Is that what I saw? That's funny. Hakparast took him to decision, and Malarkey finished him. Finish him. All right, come on now. No, decision also. Um, man, I don't know. Um, I saw them in the face-offs. Hakparast looked kind of a little silly, like you know, and Malarkey was just like zoned in. Like Hakparast was kind of like bouncing around and laughing, and Malarkey was just standing, just stone faced, just fucking Poeton style. Um, and yeah, Malarkey's got a sizable height advantage. I'm not sure what their reaches are, but even that height advantage could prove to be in his benefit or to his benefit. Um, yeah, I I think that it's tough. It's a tough pick here. Um, but I think with Malarkey being an underdog, it's almost worth it to toss him on the bet slip, see what happens. um, yeah, interesting one. I think Malarkey can get it done. I think they've both had a few knockouts, or oh my god, yeah, Malarkey's been knocked out a bunch. Um, Hackprast only once. in their pro MMA careers. I don't know what happens in training or anything like that. Um, but shit, that's kind of making me rethink my decision. Um, but Malarkey at plus money, I'm still gonna hope he can handle it. Um, Next, we've got Tim Elliott and Sumaderji. Um, Sumaderji, infamously, I guess, um, having that crazy back and forth with Matt Schnell and almost having him out, and then ending up getting fucking triangle choked. Um, that was his last fight too. That sucks. Before that, he was doing pretty good. He's got a 44-second KO of Malcolm Gordon. I don't know. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to sell this guy, um, especially against Tim Elliott, because obviously he's a veteran of the sport. He knows what the refs are looking for, and he knows how to not let them see things. um, yeah, he's openly admitted like he's gonna cheat until he's told to stop cheating. Which is, I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? But again, Sumiderji on the bet slip is plus money, not by much. For the sake of the parlay, I might keep him on there. But realistically, my pick is gonna be Tim Elliott in this one. Um, there's just not much that he hasn't seen at this point, you know. So yeah, on the bet slip, Sumiderji. If Tim Elliott wins, I'll be less upset that that it blew my parlay. Um, and then the co-main event, Khalil Roundtree and Anthony Smith. Um, man, Anthony Smith has been through it. What a what a record. Like not even that bad, to be honest. you know, not even that bad. It could be worse. Um, but considering the opponents he's faced as well. Khalil Roundtree, less tested, but man, he is a beast. He's got a little bit of a height disadvantage. I think they've got Anthony Smith at 6'4". Um, but yeah, no subs, all KOs, decisions. Um, got a handful of losses, KO'd a couple of times, but he is on a streak. He's on a 4-fight win streak right now. Um, and yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty good record considering. Um, they both lost to Johnny Walker. Out of Anthony Smith's last 4 fights, he beat Ryan Spann twice. That's interesting. Lost to Ankalaev, who's a big goof. Probably one of my least favorite fighters. Um, just a little Kadyrov puppet. Um, and he just like throws little fucking loser temper tantrums every time he loses a fight. Like, go cry, go cry, you grown ass man. Um, Anyways, Yeah, I think Roundtree has a really good chance to get it done. Um, if Smith can manage the distance, because he's got a little bit of a height and reach advantage, but it's probably gonna be a dogfight. Smith's got good jujitsu though, so got to watch out for him if the fight does get down to the ground. Uh, this one's up in the air. I'm thinking that Roundtree may get a KO, um, or might just beat Anthony Smith up to a decision. Um, victory, or something happens. Roundtree gets clipped. Fight gets down to the ground, and Smith gets some crazy submission. Um, it it could happen. It could happen. But yeah, most likely scenario is probably a knockout either way. Um, because it's gonna be a war, right? I don't think these guys are gonna be all that measured in there. I think they're probably gonna be going for the finish. Um, but that is yet to be seen. Um, stoked to see it though. And then Song Yadong and Chris Gutierrez in the main event. Um, I mean, both sporting pretty solid records on paper. Um, Gutierrez had a tough last fight, was it? No, no, he had a loss to Pedro Munoz. Um, but yeah, that he's got some really good finishes. Song Yadong's a scary Chinese boy, though. Um, he did lose to Sandhagen. He got beat up pretty bad, and then that brutal cut above his eyebrow, I think, ended the fight. Um, had that fight gone to the judges, I don't think he would have won that either. But I also don't think that Chris Gutierrez is Corey Sandhagen level, but I think he can still give Song some problems. This is another heart versus brain pick. Um, I'm rooting for Gutierrez, but and I've got him on the parlay because he's like almost plus 300. You know, I got him on one of my parlays anyway. But yeah, um, probably gonna end up being either a decision for Song Yadong or a KO for Gutierrez are my two picks, I guess. My two potential outcomes. um, or two of the potential outcomes. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a good card. There are only 11 fights, which is kind of a drag, and I don't think the fights start until like 7:30 for the early prelims or just the prelims maybe. But with that in mind, it is now 1:11 p.m. and I've taken this recording too long. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you caught it in time. Um, Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the fights. Bye bye.